The Guam Police Department will be putting out a request for interest for rental facilities in the coming weeks as they look for a new home. A memorandum of understanding with the Guam International Airport Authority calls for GPD to move out of its current Tiyan headquarters by September 11th. Public Safety Oversight Chair Senator Adolfo Palacios is putting the finishing touches on legislation that would establish a permanent headquarters for GPD and the Guam Fire Department. A similar measure was introduced during the last legislature, but it lacked a repayment source that Palacios says they've now identified.
A solid figure, the minimum amount from GPD, from the police service funds, and from the fire department, and incorporate that, and that would be the repayment source going into just one account.
Senator Palacios expects to introduce the bill by next week once his staffer, former Senator Frank Guggen Jr., completes the final version. The legislation calls on the construction of the new $25 million headquarters on government property across from the Home Depot along Airport Road. But even if the bill were to be passed and signed into law immediately, the actual headquarters wouldn't be constructed before next year at the earliest. This means GPD will have to find a temporary home away from Tiyan. As we reported, the Federal Aviation Administration has been adamant that any non-aviation related tenants of the airport move out immediately. They've even threatened withholding federal funds for non-compliance. But Senator Palacios is hopeful the feds will be amenable to extending GPD's lease for another 2 years.
If they do that and find a rental place, they're just going to sit there again. Maybe for another 5 years, I don't know. Then it diminishes the urgency of building a headquarters, which I've been saying all along since my first term. We'll always have a police department. We'll always have a fire department. Why don't we build and invest into that building and house them?
Whether the feds will agree to the extension remains to be seen. In the meantime, though, GPD will have to look for a new place to call home and identify funds for that relocation. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tiyan.